Is it better to have one world title or two world titles? Initially, there was only one WWE title, and the Intercontinental Championship was a secondary title. Legends won it because there were few titles at the time. Later, WWE decided to create a new title, the World Heavyweight Championship, bringing the total to two. This initially drew criticism because the audience couldn't focus on which title was more important. However, it's clear that what matters most is WWE, by its name and prestige. Initially, the idea seemed strange because other wrestling companies hadn't implemented such a close competition, like having two world titles, as it would distract the audience. However, WWE needed these titles to distribute the wrestlers and ensure fair competition. A single world title limited opportunities to only one wrestler, so creating a new title was the best solution. There's evidence to support this. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship went through many phases, experiencing ups and downs, culminating in champion versus champion matches to determine who was the best. We used to see these matches on weekly shows, which demonstrates the value of having two titles. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship have been combined several times, such as in 2013. This was one of the worst decisions, as SmackDown became a lackluster show. The Intercontinental Championship returned to the forefront, but as a secondary title with little value. It was a huge mistake. However, 3 years later, in 2016, WWE realized its error and reintroduced the Universal Championship. Both titles are important. If you have two shows, what would the second show do without a world title? This led to increased viewership and show value. In 2022, the two world titles were combined again in a disastrous move, but a new world title was created in 2023, the World Heavyweight Championship. This was one of the best decisions because having only one world title had previously proven ineffective. It was an excellent decision that gave value to both shows. Merging two world titles into one was a disastrous decision because it destroys the second weekly show. That's why TNA and some other companies didn't create a new title. They only have one weekly show. How could you expect them to create a new world title? This contradicts WWE, which has two weekly shows and one world title. This should have happened with the launch of SmackDown, but it was delayed a bit. So this mistake is strange for WWE to make, given their high level of intelligence. The problem is also that sometimes the sole champion is a part-timer. Imagine, in 2014, Brock Lesnar was the sole world champion, but he was a part-timer. This means WWE at that time was going through a disastrous and completely illogical decision. This shows you the confusion that existed. Having two world titles is important and provides many solutions. If a wrestler gets injured, there's another world title. And if there's a part-time world champion, though I'm against this idea, if it happens, there's another full-time world champion. This doesn't just offer a temporary solution, but a permanent one in the long run. WWE made this mistake twice, in 2013 and 2022, and I still don't know why. It's strange that they don't learn from their disastrous errors. When WWE reintroduced a new title in 2016, it was a revolutionary step towards change and stability, and it was a great decision, but it didn't last because they went back to their old ways in 2022. But in general, creating a world title is important, and having two world titles now is fantastic.